Hello, sweeties! Sure, you'll have to excuse my hair. I'm in serious need of a hairdresser. Nevertheless, it's the week of 24th of May 2020, and some of us are starting to crawl out of our rabbit hatches and tune into the world again. A bit. It might even be a bit scary for some of us. You know, the ones who've gotten used to snuggling under the blanket and watching Netflix all day? So just be kind to yourself. This whole melodrama has been one huge adjustment after another. Our emotions are all over the place, and we're wondering whether the world will ever be the same again, which of course it won't. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Different is good. Change is a part of life, and that's what's so great about this. Besides, we've just spent 2 whole months doing the same thing. So, bring on new adventures! Yay! Thanks for listening to Astrology with Linda Shaw. Don't forget to subscribe, it's free, and press the bell thing. You'll be sent reminders. That's enough of that, let's get to the stars. Gemini, my little strawberry mousse. Just because everyone thinks you've lost the plot doesn't mean you have. Look, it doesn't mean you haven't, but there are always a few options in between. And actually, these energies are fabulous for you right now. Magical even. Half the planets are in Gemini, bringing amazing opportunities into your life. But for once, you're going to have to get practical. This new energy is about getting out of your head and making something happen. Literally getting your hands dirty. Gemini is the sign of the hands. You have to be willing to experiment, ask people to join you, and horror of horrors, actually ask for advice now and then. And when you ask for advice, you'll need to listen when someone's speaking to you, to what they're saying. It could be a time to change the way you see yourself and your whole purpose. There are energies out there that want you to show your true self, but you'll have to find it first. No chickening out. That's it for Gemini. Cancer, my little radish. You've finally figured out something really important. You do not, as it turns out, owe anyone anything. You really don't. And what a relief that is, because it means you can calm right down and decide what you need for yourself. Of course, you'll still listen to all the dramas and even help out if you can, but you are no longer available to babysit, prop up, or rescue anyone who's unwilling to take responsibility for their own crap. This is not your job. In short, the energies have shifted and you're breathing a sigh of relief. Obviously, if you have children, they're your responsibility, but when it comes to taking care of anyone else, that is a choice. And right now, you're far too busy rethinking your career options and in fact your life to waste your energy on anyone else's melodrama. Change is coming and you're far more powerful than you think. It's time to make something really big happen. That's it for Cancer. Leo, my little daffodil, what on earth is happening inside that head? One minute you're bouncing all over the room, the next minute you're completely catatonic, then you're sitting on your butt waiting to be rescued. It's enough of that. Look, it's not entirely your fault. The planets are completely insane now, and emotional wobbles are a natural part of the deal. But not when they paralyze you. That's when you have to step in and take charge. But first, you have to accept that some madness is a natural part of your creative process. But it has to be the kind that keeps you focused. Next, get ready to share your ideas with someone who's actually listening. Talk about your plans. It'll help you clarify the details. But then you have to get moving. Start anywhere, but start. You are creating something fabulous, obviously. You're a Leo. That's it for Leo. Virgo, my little watermelon. Are you finally ready to take a break from the human race? Well, why don't you? You've had so much to do and so many people to take care of that you're completely overwhelmed. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because at the same time, you're positively percolating with fabulous ideas. New pathways are opening up and you're looking around for partners. But hold off on all of that for a while. The relationship planet has gone into reverse and you can't be sure of anyone's commitment until probably July. But that won't stop you working with what you have, which is your fabulous self. So don't fret if your love life has gone to hell. You'd have to be Siamese twins to live together for 2 whole months and not kill each other. We always give the people we love the hardest time. It's supposed to be a compliment, apparently. We trust them enough not to leave. Go figure. That's it for Virgo. Libra, my adorable little Labrador, sit down and take a breath. You need to think very carefully and very slowly about your next move. Your own planets have abandoned you, just temporarily, but still, and you're being forced to make all your choices on your own. So keep your thoughts simple and your plans basic. Don't expect any real help until July, and use the time beforehand to recharge your batteries. Career changes are moving really slowly, which is not a bad thing. It's giving you time to examine each step more closely. So for now, leave your love life where it is, but just stick with honesty, affection, and gratitude, for everything. Anything more is just far too risky. And then every night before you go to sleep, gaze into the mirror and tell yourself, I love you just the way you are. You're perfect. And mean it. That's it for Libra. Scorpio, my stubborn little buffalo. Are you determined to suffer in silence while pretending to be the hero? Well, that's just great. But the only snag is, you're not fooling anyone. You are one of the most sensitive creatures in the universe, and just because you've decided that no one is trustworthy enough to offer help, you've become all bitter and twisted in your little corner by yourself. Honestly, a tiny bit of humility is all you need. Phone someone for a chat. Have a bubble bath with salt in it. The truth is, you're getting ready to move into a brand new cycle of prosperity, but you're afraid you won't get it right. You will, of course, but so what if you don't? Then you'll just try again, differently. Watch the love life, though. It's taking strain. Just be nice. Give them all the benefit of the doubt, just for now. That's it for Scorpio. Sagittarius, my little watermelon. Does it feel as though everyone's giving you a hard time? Well, maybe they are, but it's not entirely their fault. The planet of compassion and understanding is visiting elsewhere. And you must admit, you're kind of weird at the best of times. It's not that the people are mean. They're just confused. Still, as they say, your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. Tell yourself that. And love your fabulous self just the way you are. Then, try being exceptionally kind to them. That'll confuse them. You're the one with the independent soul. They're secretly trusting you to know what's going on. Besides, you have other fish to fry. There are some really interesting opportunities on the horizon. They just take a little courage to follow through, but that's not a problem for you. Courage, you have in abundance. Go for it. That's it for Sagittarius. Capricorn, my little pussycat, calm down a smidge. If you're still looking for ways to fix the entire universe single-handed, you're going to give yourself a heart attack, and then you won't be able to do a single thing. Remember, we live in a world of duality. If there are rich people, then there must be poor people to balance the energy. If there is sickness, there will be health on the other side. It's how the physical world works. Of course, once you start tuning into your inner superhero, you'll discover that we're all one big fabulous energy and that everything is exactly as it should be. Your job, meanwhile, is to assess problems and lead the lost souls in another direction. You can start anywhere. In fact, start by getting rich or richer. It's much easier to help when you have money. But take it slowly and be kind to yourself. You're a person too. In fact, a very important one. That's it for Capricorn. Aquarius, my fluffy little squirrel. Have you just about had enough of all the global madness? This could be one of those times when you get to stand back and watch the rest of the show. This particular brand of lunacy is slowly coming to an end, though, and soon we'll all be wishing for the same kind of solitude that we've got now. Still, keep an eye on the details. Are you taking charge where you need to and standing back sometimes to give someone else a chance to shine? The ego doesn't go away just because it's been locked up in a box. In fact, it needs more attention than ever. So, compliment people whenever you get the chance. Look out for interesting new offers meanwhile. You may even have to start the ball rolling yourself. Here's your chance to divide yourself into manageable bites. Don't worry about the emotional dongas. You'll just have to plow through those until July when the planets move forward again. Meanwhile, networking is your great gift. Find out what everyone else is doing and get ready to share. You don't need to do any of this stuff alone unless you want to. That's it for Aquarius. Pisces, my little chocolate donut. Are you still procrastinating like crazy? Waiting for the perfect moment to start your new project? Hilarious! Think about what you really want. Are you doing stuff because you think you have to, or because it excites you? And yes, of course, there are tedious parts in every adventure, but the destination must be part of a passionate desire. Actually, there's no point talking to you about that now. You're all bogged down in the love drama. And needless to say, you're getting lost in that Romeo and Juliet fantasy again, aren't you? And look what happened to them. Try to remember that although you may seriously believe you're from another planet, and maybe you are, you're on this one now. And if you're hoping to make any sense of your life, you'll have to get practical, one tiny step at a time. That's all it takes. That's it for Pisces. Aries, my spiky little hedgehog, is the anxiety finally getting to you? And does it help at all? Or does it just make you feel even more hopeless? Listen, your body is extremely sensitive to moods at the moment, and it does not respond well to your lunacy. Besides, you definitely don't have time to get sick now, so you will have to deal with each of these tiny issues as it comes along. You can do it. Use all the natural charm on them and that fantastic inner strength on yourself. Relationship hassles will slowly sort themselves out, although it will probably take until July to figure out what's really going on. And someone will offer to help you with the money. Just keep laughing, you'll fool them all and transform your own energy at the same time. It works. That's it for Aries. Taurus, my little bunny rabbit, how are you coping? There are some very weird planets out there, and they're taking the long and winding road, probably so you'll have extra time to rethink your plans. Offers are coming in that don't exactly gel with your personality, so it's probably best to resist them for now. You'll have to stick to the moral high ground if you want to sleep at night. But there's no need to preach to the others, they must make their own choices. Just make sure you're comfortable with yours. The love life, meanwhile, is going fairly well, giving exactly the kind of backup you need. So discuss your plans with the people who actually care. There are a lot more of them than you think. And get ready to lighten up just a smidge. This nightmare is nearly over, promise. That's it for Taurus. Thank you, fabulous creatures, for listening to Astrology with Linda Shaw. Now, whenever you're feeling down, surround yourself in a bubble of golden light and tell yourself you're being protected. Then ask your angels to help you move to the next place. And keep smiling, even if you don't feel like it. Smiling completely changes your vibration. Try it, even if you think I'm talking absolute garbage. What have you got to lose? Now, if you'd like to subscribe, just press the button thing. It's free. And have a great week. Remind yourself every 5 seconds just how amazing you are. Give yourself permission to succeed. It's important. Bye now.